Mo here for the love of yoga, and today we're going to talk about a couple of supine poses. One is Salabhasana and the other is Dhanurasana. Both are done on your tummies, and I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate them. I like to use Salabhasana in my warm-ups as well as, especially in the warm-up for any back bends, because it's just a good opener, and it also really helps to activate those core muscles. So lying on your tummy, I like to start grounding my third eye to the mat. That's kind of hard to explain and do at the same time, so just trust me on it, but that's where I like to start, with my hands to my sides. Inhale deep and exhale as I draw my hands and feet up, starting to draw the backs of my legs towards the sky. And I also like to work on really bringing everything up in my arms. So I'm not just like lifting with my hands, I'm lifting with the whole arm, the upper arm, elbow, lower arm, lifting with my inner thighs and throughout the backs of my legs. So it's a real workout because I'm really working everything to get everything off the ground and to kind of balance on my tummy and a little bit on my thighs, but I'm really trying to get those thighs up. In the pose, I also like to really extend the crown of my head away from the rest of my body, extending, just giving my spine a little bit of a opening. And then zipping up my core really helps to incorporate the back bend throughout the spine. So even though I'm on my tummy, I'm zipping my belly button towards my ribs and back towards my spine, which is hard to demonstrate and talk about at the same time, so I'm going to try my best. Salabhasana. In your Salabhasana, you can bring a little bit more fire into your practice by drawing your hands out to the side like an airplane, and then eventually in front of you, kind of like a superhero, and really drawing your fingertips away from your toes and your toes away from your fingertips. And when you're ready to release, exhale it out. Maybe place your hands on the mat and your forehead or third eye to your hands. And notice. Take a second to notice that it's such a simple pose. You worked so many body parts. And you did a good job at it. I'm sure you did. Okay. After we recoup from Salabhasana, we're going to get into Dhanurasana. In your Dhanurasana, it's very similar start, where I keep my hands to my side. But this time I'm going to bend my knees and flex my feet. Let my hands grab onto my ankles. Pressing my ankles into my hands helps me to lift my chest up off the mat. So my chest is lifted, my feet are trying to get to the sky. So the bottoms of my feet are trying to get to the sky. My thighs are active. My shoulder blades are drawn closer to each other on my back. My chest is broad and my head is high. Whew. And you're gonna wobble a little bit in this, and that's good. Embrace the wobble because it means you're working and it means you're breathing. Holding it for 3, 2, and for 1. As you exhale, maybe you just bend the knees nice and deep, bringing your feet back towards your butt, and then gently letting them come back to the mat. Maybe your hands come again to your mat, and your third eye to your hands. Couple of tricky things to Dhanurasana that I wasn't able to say in the last part was that just like with Salabhasana, you're doing that same thing where you're zipping up your core. By zipping up the core, and drawing your thighs closer together, it really brings a space so that way you're protected in your lower back. And then that helps to distribute the back bend throughout the entire spine. So I'm going to do it again. and just try to show you the difference on what happens when you see if you can notice the difference when you zip that shit up or when you don't. So in Dhanurasana, so this is just a standard Dhanurasana. I'm not doing anything. I'm pressing in. Yeah, I'm using the press of my ankles into my feet, but like my thighs are just kind of whatever. My head is whatever. And my back feels really crunchy. So I don't suggest doing it. And the second time I'm going to try it, I'm going to bring everything in. I'm going to zip up that core. I'm going to press my ankles into my hands. My hands are going to hold my ankles nice and strong. I'm going to zip up my core. So I'm thinking about my belly button coming towards my ribs and then back towards my spine. Throwing my thighs together and up. And that really gives me a better feel in this pose. And now I feel like I can go pretty much all over the place with this. Some people actually will rock from side to side on their Dhanurasana. I'm not feeling it right now. But we'll work on that on like maybe in the next video. Anywho, back to paying attention to what you're doing. Breathing and release. From here, maybe take a child's pose. Really sink into that child's pose. Walking our hands back towards our knees. Crown of the head back to the sky. So that was a couple of supine poses that they look simple and it's actually pretty easy steps to doing it, but it's a lot of work. And just from those two poses and the lights, I'm sweaty. So as always, the light in me honors the light in every one of you. Namaste.